Hello and welcome to episode 8. I think it is. I keep forgetting how many we've done. I'm like, but welcome. How's your week been, Melita?
It's been good. It's been good. Still recovering from the last game against Sevenoaks. Been home, back to Gloucester as well. So just preparing for our next game on Saturday.
Yeah, busy week as always. Let's have a quick chat because we've got a very special guest on today's show. We're going to be talking to Georgia Gayle from the Sheffield Hatters. I'm really looking forward to seeing kind of what Georgia thinks of the season and kind of getting an insight into her journey so far. Before that, let's have a little look at the fixtures from last weekend because there was quite a few matchups that we thought were going to be quite close. I did catch up to you a little bit in our little competition, so I am now only one behind. So that's getting tight.
Nottingham, I'm just upset. I'm upset with you guys.
We'll start with that game, Caledonia Nottingham. Do you know, I think that one we both said Caledonia would win. I think we got kind of sucked in with their new signings a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be long though before they're picking up the wins. 82-76 for Caledonia. Brooklyn Pennell really stealing the show again. 32 points for this time. Really putting big numbers up in the last few weeks. Kennedy Nicholas again, 20 rebounds. I think that's her second or third 20 rebound game this season.
Yeah, ridiculous. Just ridiculous. That's all I have to say.
Ridiculous. But again, Taylor Edwards, couple of assists and a rebound away from that triple-double. I reckon that's not far away as well. Lake and James, 17.6 rebounds, 4 assists. So the new signings really hitting the ground running for Caledonia.
Yeah. I'm excited to see them just gel more together and get more dubs, I guess.
Well, Newcastle-London, a match I was at on Saturday night. Again, over 200 fans there, which was really promising that they're keeping up, kind of keeping that the numbers going. I read today that they're targeting a game in March against Caledonia to have the kind of full BBL set up, as it were, for the Newcastle Eagles.
Wow.
They're really going to market it quite like hard and try and kind of see what it could be like, I guess, if we keep going. So that's going to be exciting, I think, in March.
Yeah.
Try and get as many people there as possible.
Yeah, it's great to see it as well because this kind of shows if the effort is put in, the outcome will actually be a positive one. So hopefully other teams can mimic exactly what they're doing, which will make the league a lot more interesting and better, because if you play with a crowd there, you automatically just play better because you've got that atmosphere.
I was quite surprised on Saturday that it was still, I mean, it was obviously the night after all of the storms and the winds and the damage that up here kind of really hit hard. But there was still I think it was snowing when we got there and stuff like that. So it was nice to see the crowd still there. London were incredible. It's the first time I've seen them live this season. I mean, the same names we talk about all the time, but that squad is just so deep. You talk about Kennedy Leonard, Jolene and Warner, Cassie Breen was knocking the threes down again, and Shanice Beckford-Norton is so quick. It is unbelievable. It's just like
again, ridiculous.
Gone. But that finished 45-100. So obviously a very comprehensive win. Just a quick note about London. Result tonight, unfortunately, did not go their way in their European journey. So that's a big shame.
But super proud of them though. First season in the Euro Cup, and I think they've done an amazing job. And I think next season, now that they know exactly what's to come, they're probably going to do a lot better.
Absolutely, and to do with that British core as well. I think that kind of helps the kind of league, helps Britain out more, that it wasn't just that. Yeah, they're using kind of the British talent that bringing it back think that's what I'm saying. Let's go with Essex Cardiff. Essex have kind of really come along this season. 94-75. A real team performance, 5 players in double figures. Something I noticed on the stat sheet, Angel Waith had a plus minus of 25 in the 20 minutes she played.
Still waiting for her dunk. I am still waiting for it, but not against Gloucester.
Nothing's allowed against Gloucester. Nothing. But Cardiff have gone a few games now without a win, so they'll be looking to target one of their next matches. But I mean, Sevenoaks next for them. Again, very tough assignment. As you found out on Sunday, was it Sunday?
Yeah. Anyway,
that finished 44-85. Cat Carr 1 point away from a triple double.
I don't know.
1 point.
I was actually like, yes, thank the Lord.
Did you get into foul trouble early in that game?
I don't know if it was the first or second quarter, but I was on 3 fouls. Yeah. I mean, I did one on purpose because I was like, I needed a sub. And then the others, they were questionable.
Okay. Questionable. We've talked about referees quite a bit, haven't we? We'll just sleep there.
I need to stay on their good side. I need to be on their good side.
Last match of that weekend was Essex against Leicester. And this is the one that we kind of, you went Essex, I went Leicester. And Leicester, 96-90, with Anna Lappin-Cooper, 35 points. Saved the day for me.
That's the only reason why I didn't vote for Player of the Week, just because I got the L. Yeah,
Player of the Week. So I'm hoping to be there on Saturday for the handover. Eva can't come this week though. She's at a sleepover birthday party. So I might have to get Ida to
get invited to everything, I feel like, every weekend.
Social life, man. Better than mine.
Most popular.
So that was kind of a quick roundup of the games last weekend. Looking ahead to next weekend, we've mentioned Sevenoaks and Cardiff. Again, tough assignment for Cardiff. Now, one of the games I found interesting, Caledonia Oaklands. 2 teams in and around that bottom part of the league will be targeting this match.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about it.
I know.
I'll go with Oaklands. Old team, got to go with them.
Oh, do you know I'm going Caledonia.
Oh!
Yes. So that makes us level, I reckon, right? So
we'll see.
Our guest today, Georgia Gayle, her Sheffield team are playing Essex this weekend, which again looks like another tasty matchup.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to think about that one as well.
We've got yourselves against Nottingham. You mentioned Brooklyn Pennell. How are you going to stop her?
Don't worry, we've got that under control. Like, we've had 3 hard games now. Like, we've played 3 of the top teams in the league. So now playing Nottingham, I think you're gonna see something. You're gonna be okay, maybe they ain't that bad.
We've got fighting talk from Melita. Fighting talk.
I feel like I do this before every game. Maybe I need to stop. Maybe this is why we're losing.
No, you've got to have that confidence.
True.
The last game on Saturday is the second cup semi-final to see who plays London in Birmingham in January, and it's Newcastle against Leicester. Well, yeah, we'll see. Sunday gives us 3 games that possibly look one-sided on paper. London against Nottingham, Manchester against Sevenoaks, and Leicester against Durham. So that kind of wraps up our week ahead. I think there is some interesting match. I think Essex Sheffield probably could be the game of the weekend. Yeah. Hopefully that would be quite a close one.
Yeah.
Which game are you looking forward to? Is it that one?
Yeah, definitely that one. That one and the Oaklands game as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the 2. are going to be exciting.
Right, I think it's time we invite Georgia onto the show. As I said before, I'm excited to kind of see what she thinks of the season so far, get to kind of know her thoughts on her teammates a little bit more, and kind of how that squad's gelling together. But let's get her on. So let's do it. Hello and welcome to the show, Georgia.
Thank you.
How are you? How a busy week this week?
Always busy in my life, yeah. On the court, practicing, work, coaching, it's just a lot.
So what is it you do for work outside of basketball?
Well, I'm basically like the manager of the club at the moment. So my official role is operations coordinator. So I basically run the WBBL team. And then I have my own basketball academy at college. So I do that too. And then I also, whenever I do have free time, I do go into schools and coach as well.
You weren't lying about being busy then.
I know.
Doesn't stop for you, which is so good though. So I think it's amazing the fact, I don't know if a lot of people know about you and your family and that the whole background of it all, because like I've seen a lot of stuff on like the BBC and stuff like that. Can you kind of like talk us through that and how like Sheffield started, like your grandma, your aunt, and all of that? Give us a little run.
Yeah, so recently the BBC stuff has been about my nan. She won Unsung Hero for Yorkshire, which means she's now got put through to be nominated for the National Award. So we're waiting to see how she's done with that. She also won, what is it? What's the newspaper? Something Times? Not New York Times, we're not in New York.
We're going
something. Won that. Anyways, grassroots award. So she just won that too. But basically, my nan started the club 60 years ago this year. So that's why it was so important for us to be back in the league this year after we had a year out due to COVID. So my nan's played and coached. She's worked within FIBA. And then obviously there's Nessa, who's our head coach at the WBBL. She's my auntie. My mom used to play as well alongside Vanessa. But my mum runs more, like, is more in the background now. She doesn't really coach. Then my brother's coaching. He coaches our under 16s, under 18s. I play. Nessa's son, Quinn, he's playing pro in Italy. My dad's played. He's kind of retired. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's trying to get back on the court, whether his body lets him, we don't know. So yeah. Oh, and my sister plays at Oakland, so we're a big basketball family.
Do you know, I talked to Sarah, Naomi and Helen and at the start of, well, it was probably February time, about the impact on coronavirus as a club. But what I got from that interview was totally that family feel of the club. Like, it just runs all the way through the club, how close-knit you all are, whether you're related or not related. Kind of talking to us a little bit about that kind of family aspect of Sheffield.
So basically, when you come to us, a lot of people don't leave. You look at people like Steph Ganday, who has been with us for, I think, 15 years, maybe 16. She got brought in straight out of college, and is now playing on our masters team because she's been here for that long. She's that old. So there's a lot of people that come and don't leave. We all got on really well. It's like Nessa, her best friends are Jimmy and Skelly, who joined the club when they were young and then now in their 50s and 60s. So they play on the Masters team too. So it's just one of them things, as soon as you come into the club, no matter what age you are, like, everybody knows each other, everybody talks to each other. And you just kind of create that bond that doesn't break.
Yeah, and you can see that on the court as well. Like, I remember when I was playing for Barking Abbey when I was in sixth form, and every time we went down to Sheffield, we're like, oh, for heaven's sakes, because it's literally a bond that you cannot break. Like, you guys just know each other so well, and it was, I think we definitely lost every time we played you. You guys were literally just unstoppable back then, and it's interesting for me now that you guys are back in this league just to see how well you're going to do, because you're doing so good now. It's like, is Sheffield going to come back and basically take over again?
That's the thing. It's been a tough year for us because if you think about it, like I wasn't here last year. Like, well, I haven't been here for a few years. It's basically Helen and Naomi are the core of the team, and then everybody else is basically new. So it's been a bit of a challenge for us, kind of having to gel and create that new team ethos again, because that's never really had to be a thing. We've always had like a base of players and just brought in a couple of players. So I think that's definitely been a challenge for us, but there's been a few changes, which you'll see.
Oh, you can't do that. How do you do that to us, Georgia?
We'll see how it goes over the next few weeks.
Another bombshell.
Wow, let's kind of since I don't think you're going to give us anything from that one, are you? Let's move on, and we'll talk a little bit about yourself. Can you just tell us where you're from and kind of when you started to play basketball?
So I'm from Sheffield. We've never moved from here. Kind of stayed. The only time obviously I moved is when I went to college. But I started playing properly, I would say at 9. When I was young, I'd run man on the side of the court, bouncing the ball, getting in the way while the other ones are practicing. So yeah, I started playing at 9. I was on the under 14 team. My mum used to have to like tape my kit to me because it was so big. You had to roll the shorts, tape the top because it was huge and I was so tiny. And I'd get on for like the last 2 minutes of the game. I'd still come off crying because someone probably like bumped into me or something. I was a wuss back then. But yeah, I stayed. I played up as much as I could. So from under 14s, I was up into under 16s and 18s. By under 16s, I was playing Division 2 and training with which was Div 1 back then. And then I think by under 18s, I was just about fully in the Div 1 WBBL team. My parents always obviously pushed me because they wanted me to get better. So I just kind of went my way up the club as fast as I could.
Did you feel that pressure then because obviously you've talked before how much of a basketball family you are. Did you feel a little bit extra pressure?
Oh yeah, always. I always felt like I had to produce. But I think I also just put the pressure on myself because like people always say I had the potential and it was like, okay, so I've got to do this now. And I step on the court and I'm like, if I don't score this many points, if I don't get this many rebounds, I'm like, God, I'm terrible. But I mean, you're not going to have a great game every game. Back then, I didn't realise that. And I guess I was a bit hard on myself. But now I'm kind of realising, like, yeah, there's pressure, but you can't let it eat you up. Like, just get on with it.
And do you think that's like one of your strengths now, just being able to adapt on the court and mentally be locked in, focused, and not worry about the uncontrollables?
Yeah, definitely. I think my mental state is huge for me. Like growing up, I would say I probably wasn't the best teammate. My best friends will tell you now, my group of friends I did not get along with growing up because they were my teammates and we always used to argue. I used to scream at them. They used to hate me. And like when we talk about it now, we say how crazy it is at how close we are because they say how much I changed when I came back from America. I feel like I grew up and realized the way I wasn't okay. So I've definitely mellowed, a lot nicer. Sometimes smile, it's rare. Yeah, I'd say I've definitely changed, and my mental's a lot better. I'm a lot more positive towards things, and I don't just focus on points. It might be, say, if I'm not scoring, then I'll aim to get more assists or rebound more, or just encourage people and help create for other people.
And besides your shooting, because we all know you can shoot, what else do you think like your strengths are in terms of like on and off the court as well?
Well, if you've been watching my games lately, shooting's not been my strength. I think I've made 1-3 in the past 2 games, but we'll forget about that. But now I feel like I've been finding my feet again, putting the ball on the floor. I used to do it a lot growing up. But yeah, I'm getting to the rim a lot more now, so that's good. So hopefully when my shot comes back, it'll make my life a bit easier in both respects. So people have to choose what they want to guard. Off the court, I'd say I'm very organised. Well, I'm not the team mom, but I keep everybody organised. I wouldn't I say I'm more positive than I used to be. I try to be the voice of reason. Right. My teammates are gonna watch this and be like, she's lying.
You know why I'm laughing so hard is because I'm like the exact same. Like when I was younger, I was always angry, like
yes,
just always focused. And now, like since now I've been a pro for a couple of years, I've calmed down quite a lot.
Yeah.
And if I do snap, it's because okay, this is the right time to snap, not just because I'm in a mood. And like my teammates now, they call me mum too. So that's why I'm dying here, because I'm like, geez, you sound just like me.
You guys both went to America to play, and you kind of mentioned there that was maybe when you did a little bit of growing up, as it were. Would you say that was the kind of time in your life when that kind of switched?
Yeah, I think the experiences you go through when you're away from home and away from your support system really change you. I went through a lot out in America, from issues on and off the court, different teammates to deal with, and you get a lot of time to yourself, so you really get time to sit and think about everything and process everything. So I think that's definitely what made me change.
And could you just remind us what college you went to, and if you have any advice for young girls going into college as well, if there's one thing you can kind of advise them, what would it be?
Yep, so I went to Duke, which wasn't my plan. I went to Northwest Florida State. I obviously wanted to go straight to D1, had D1 offers from obviously playing like with England and stuff. And it was last minute. I was lucky that I fell on Northwest Florida. It was one of the best schools in the country for Duke. But that was all to do with my eligibility. So people really need to be careful with that and really look at it before they go to sixth form, because I'd gone to university for a year and took a year out, and it just messes with the whole 5 years. And then after my 2 years there, I chose to go to UCF. Now this is the biggest main piece of advice I would say is obviously you get 5 visits to choose your school, official visits anyways. UCF was my first official visit. I committed on my first official visit. Do not do that.
Oh, that is like actually a crime. And yes. It's crazy because I don't think a lot of young people actually understand the process of going to America. Like if I could go back, I would have asked so many more questions to people who've done the journey already, because there's so many things that you could just I guess not have to deal with, for example, like your eligibility and then signing on your first visit. And luckily for me, I took 4 visits and decided to go to the last school. And it was just like, I loved the first school that I went to. So yeah, it's crazy, which is why I kind of asked the question, like what advice, because younger people need to know these things.
Yeah. And obviously America is amazing. The experience is amazing. But is it right for you? That's what I would say too, because people see it as this big dream, but do you want to be practicing every day for 3 hours a day, sometimes to sit on the bench? Is that something you want? And that's what I say to our girls, because I had a mum ask me the other day about it. And I said, unless Talitha is dominating at under 18s, she doesn't need to go. And that sounds really harsh, but the level of basketball here in comparison to America is obviously, there's a massive difference. So you have to be dominating here to get anywhere decent there. So that's like another thing I would say.
Yeah, and then I feel like now the WBBL is improving as well. So I feel like kids should kind of stay in England because you've got a pathway. Like you can play D1, you can then go to the WBBL and then eventually go overseas as well. So I think this new pathway in England is mimicking the American system, and eventually it could be just as good.
So for your plan after America, was that to return back to Sheffield and then kind of COVID got in the way, or what was the plan after America?
So me leaving America was obviously partly to do with COVID, but partly to do with like personal issues and not being happy there. So I didn't really have a plan. It was more get home and get myself straight before I figured out what I was doing next. Because obviously coming home, I had the security blanket of my parents. So, you know, I had time to figure out what I wanted to do, because that was the worst thing for me, is like, what am I going to do next? Like, I thought I was going to be in college for another year. So to be honest, I really didn't have a clue, and I kind of just had to figure it out as I went along.
And so how did the move to Spain come about?
So we obviously realised we weren't having a WBBL team. I'd kind of fallen out of love with basketball because of America. So then we were just going to have Division 2 teams. I was like, you know what, I'll just do that. I'll run around trying to enjoy myself again, get a job, just chill. But then everything got cancelled. So we didn't have a D2 team. So then I'm sat at home like, I really can't not play sport. Like, I'm going to get fat. I'm going to get depressed. And someone had reached out to me, and he was just like, I will help you find a team if that's what you want. And within 2 days, I'd signed a contract. So, yeah, it was all very quick, but I just knew I couldn't sit at home and not do anything.
And just based off of like you coming home and chilling and stuff, did you find any other hobbies? And like, what other talents do you have besides?
I actually have not.
Come on, there has to be something.
Look, I sleep, eat, play basketball, and work. Like, that's my life. Like, I started a lot of the time, like during COVID and stuff, I was outdoors. Like, where I live is like close to the countryside, so I would just hike for miles like most days. There really wasn't much to do. Netflix was my best friend. But yeah,
let's talk about your animals.
Okay, so obviously we have little Tucker, the little Jackapoo. We have the 2 cats, but they're annoying. They scratch my door at 5 a.m, so they don't even get their names mentioned. Then we have the horses. So that's another one of my massive escapes, is being able to go and ride. But I don't do it a lot because I've had some bad injuries and I can't really afford to be off the court. So I kind of keep my feet on the ground most of the time now.
You'll have to take up juggling or something like something partly like a bit fun and that bit of juggling. Yeah,
I can't even do that.
Let's move on to looking at this season then. So you're back at Sheffield, back home, and just your initial thoughts on how the season's going so far.
I'm pleasantly surprised with how we've done. Like for us as a team individually. I think it's also great to see teams like Essex that weren't like up there before, like competing with people. You know, even games that you think could be blowouts, potentially might not be, you know. Most teams could shock us. So I think it's nice this season to know every game you've got to go in ready.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing like I love about the WBBL. It's so competitive, and like you said, like the bottom, whoever's at the bottom of the table can beat anyone in the league. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm a bit upset though that your club cancelled on my club on the 6th of November.
We were in GB.
I know, but I was still upset. I was like, no, I wanted to play this game now. And now you've got this little surprise. How does that help?
It's not. I'm gonna shut up. You'll see. It's just a change. That's what it is. A change.
Okay, I'm here trying to really get it out of you. Oh gosh. Okay, so like another fire question. What's your best moment on the court?
This season?
Any.
Oh. I would say at my junior college, beating my own record. So I hold the record for the most threes made in a game. So I think I made the record the first year and I got 8, and the year after I got 9. So I think we'll go with that. my memory's terrible. It's the only one that's coming to mind right now. So that's the one we're sticking with.
You probably will beat it this season. Probably. You think? Yeah, I think you could. What was it?
No, but one game I think I had.
You had like...
I think I had 8. I think I've had 8 so far in 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
But, obviously this season...
It's not against my team, okay?
All right, okay. I gotcha.
This season you've had the GB experience as well. Talk us through that and how special that was.
Honestly, I actually really enjoyed it. You know, being with the older ones and the younger ones, the bond between us young ones is actually surprisingly great. Like, I never thought I would be close with the people I'm close with on the team now. You know, if you see, I posted the picture the other day, like captioned it like the next generation, because we really are. There's a bunch of us that are going to be the team when the older ones retire. And I think this last camp has really made us gel, and it's been really nice. Obviously, being in camp with Carly for the first time, playing with Carly was good. She's lovely. She's such a lovely person. You know, being with Z, I think this is the best I've seen Z play too when we were away with GB. She played great. You know, it's just a nice experience, you know, and something different when you're with your team every week. Don't get me wrong, I love my team, but it's just nice to have a bit of a change, learn from new people, play with new people. Yeah, so it's overall just a really nice experience.
I mean, I obviously haven't had an opportunity to represent my country. I'm still waiting for the call, but
it's coming.
It's coming, clearly. But obviously, you both have kind of represented countries and stuff. I don't think I can kind of imagine what it's like to step on that court for the first time.
Yeah, it's such a good feeling. I mean, playing in front of my family, like having all my family there in Manchester, it's just great. I'm making my family proud, and that's probably one of the most important things to me.
And as you say, kind of the future looks bright for GB as a whole.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've got some talent coming back from the States too, so that'll be interesting. It's just kind of the beginning again, I guess. So it's nice to see how we'll build over the next few years and see what we can do.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know a lot of people were disappointed with the losses, but I'm telling people like we're rebuilding again pretty much. So in a couple of years' time, we're going to be dangerous again, but we've got to kind of start from somewhere again, because like Joe Leadham and Chantal Handy, Temi, not even Temi, you can rule her out because she was actually one of the youngest of the oldest. Yeah. So like they've been playing together from a long time ago. So it's like us now are them back then. So yeah,
exactly. It takes time. It's what it is, and people just have to kind of bear with us. Like, I know it was frustrating for us to lose. We had close games, you know, and we probably could have won both the games. But you just kind of have to take the positives from it now and just see that we are going to build and we are going to get better. Those games in the future we will be winning.
Exactly. Another final question from me. Your game day routine, are you like it has to be the same every time, or
not at all? Like, I'm so chilled. I used to like have to wear all pink, like spandex, socks, shoes, everything pink. But now I'm so chilled. Like, I'll just get up and do my hair. If I've got time, I'll go to the stables. I just chill. Like, I honestly just go into every game day like it's kind of any other day and just play.
Yeah. So you've got to tell us though about the one eye picture. I was looking it up now. Like, I don't know why the WBBL does this. Like, I don't know if we need to make a rule, like you need to let us know what picture to use. But
it keeps getting used though. This is the thing. Like, I think like Hoops Fix have used it, WBBL have used it. Like, there's plenty of pictures of me. Like, what? Like, I was so mad every time they post it. I'm just.
Wait there. Let me find it. I'll get it ready to advertise this podcast.
You have to use it now. So people know what we're talking about right now.
I'm like so hesitant to get lashes put back on because I'm like, what if it happens again? There's going to be more pictures, more evidence.
Right. And it's hard because it's like I wear mascara, but then like if I get hit or something and my eye starts watering, then you've got like black
Yeah, you got panda
eyes.
eyes.
You can't use strips because that will 100% come off.
Look, no. Right, when I was in America, I could not afford those $200 lashes. If you get the right glue, they will stay on. You have to cake it on now, but it works.
And are you like, so for me, I have a saying, if you look good, you feel good, you play good. Are you like that as well?
I really used to be, but after this whole lash incident, I've had to say, it is what it is.
That's hysterical.
Right, let's have a look at the kind of WBBL as a whole. Melita mentioned before that the standard is improving. Kind of, do you see that from, say, 5 years ago when you were just coming into the league to when you've come back into the league? Do you see the standard improving?
Yeah, I definitely do. Like I said about Essex are the biggest one for me. Because I know they were a few years ago always kind of at the bottom of the table, but like we're going into this weekend because we're playing them, a little bit apprehensive. They just had a close game with Leicester. We had a close game with Leicester, so that's going to be exciting. I'm trying to think what other teams there are. Newcastle. I never know with Newcastle where they're at. Never know.
You might have this debate all the time.
Yeah. Who else is there? I mean, Leicester's again one of those teams that can shock people. Nottingham. You just never know, do you?
I still don't know with Nottingham as well.
Just don't know where people are at. There's so many people you can't gauge, like whether it's going to be a blowout or a close game or anything like that. So I would say just because of that, you can see the standard is improving because there is so many games you are like so unsure about, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. We've mentioned Caledonia a few times recently because obviously they've got their three new signings and they've kind of hit the ground running with near triple doubles, and so I don't think it'll be long until they start picking up some extra wins as well. Yeah,
we played them. They were our last game actually. We played them at home, and it was quite close in the first quarter for us and them. So they were competing with us, but we have a tendency to start slow at the moment, so that's another problem. But yeah, it's proven teams can keep up with us and other people.
And for you, obviously, individual performances this year, scoring kind of a high average points per game and winning Eva's Player of the Week as well. I mean, what a season you're having individually.
Yeah, I think I've shocked myself, to be honest, with how I'm playing. I'm just really focused on having all-round games now. Like I said, when I was younger, it was all about points, but I want to contribute in multiple ways and kind of step up my defense. Chenma, when we're in GB, is always going on about my defense and like how I need to play defense and how I am a good defender. I'm just too lazy and don't bend my knees. So that's kind of one of the things I'm focusing on this year. Nessa will put me on the better players, I guess. So yeah, I'm just trying to contribute in as many ways as I can.
Let's have a look at some of your teammates then. We've got a few questions for you just to kind of get to know your dressing room a little bit better.
Okay.
So who would you say the best out and out shooter was? Maybe apart from yourself, who do you think the best shooter in the squad is?
All right, I'll give it to Helen.
Nice.
I agree.
I'll give it that one.
Who is the funniest in the dressing room?
Nikki, hands down. Nikki is the funniest person ever.
She is a hype woman as well. Yeah. Like she will get you pumped. I love playing with her. She is hysterical.
Yeah, Nikki is the best.
Who's most likely to forget a play?
Half our team. So it took us so long to get the 4 offenses we have in people's heads. Let me think. We're gonna go with Alyssa.
Okay. Who's got the worst taste in music?
Yeah, I keep hold of the speaker, so we don't need to hear anybody else's music choices. But I'm probably going to say Naomi, because Naomi is the grandma of the team. Yeah, we'll go with that.
You're not going to like that one.
It'll be all right.
Okay, so you're in charge of the music. What kind of music is it that you listen to pre-game?
A lot of the time, I put my phone down. It's whatever plays because I'm too busy probably doing my hair. So it's just a lot of like upbeat music, like R&B, hip hop and stuff. Just kind of a mix because obviously we have a mix of ages in our team. I'm not going to say the age range, Helen Naylor, but yeah, you've got to cater to all.
Poor Helen and Naomi are getting it here, aren't they?
Oh,
Who's always late?
Oh, Charlie. Mainly Charlie, yeah.
And is there like a forfeit or anything if you are late?
The evil stare off Vanessa.
I know that look too. That looks scary.
Yeah, the thing is, a lot of us don't live. Us, no, well, not me. A lot of our team don't live in Sheffield. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that commute, so it's hard with traffic and stuff like that. So Nessa's not so tight about it because most of the time it can't be helped. So yeah.
Right, let's move on to questions about little quick fire questions about yourself. Again,
Okay.
just to get you know you a little bit better, kind of outside of the basketball court. You mentioned Netflix was your best friend during lockdowns and things. What is your kind of go-to series or your favorite thing that you're watching at the moment?
Oh, Selling Sunset.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Both of us are like, what?
So it's like a house program. So there's like, they're basically like celebrities now because of the show. It's like estate agents to us that sell houses, like the big mansions in like Beverly Hills and Calabasas and stuff. So like,
yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Love it.
Okay, I might give it a go then.
Yeah, you should. Like, honestly, when you watch it, you're gonna want to be one of them. I tell you.
Would you go for a McDonald's or a KFC?
Oh.
Or neither?
I'm an athlete. I don't eat those things.
Oh, okay.
Not McDonald's. Not McDonald's.
Do you have a favorite squad number? And if so, what is it? And why do you have that number?
7. My mom played it. So same as my mom. It's cute.
Disney film. What's your favorite Disney film?
All right, don't hate on me. I'm not a Disney person.
I mean, not even the new Pixar films, Toy Story, like the kind of no. Wow.
Anything like animation, I can't sit and watch. Like it's just boring to me.
You've just talked about a program about selling houses.
Have you seen their lifestyle?
Are you talking about Helen and Naomi being a grandma? Start to sound like one.
Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
Oh my gosh, no.
I think Melita, we're just gonna have to end this now, aren't we? I mean,
yeah,
just gone downhill.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's a good thing. Pineapple on a pizza, it's a good thing.
Right, balances out the flavors.
What have you got to balance out? Just get a pizza you like.
Oh, Brexy, grandma.
I don't know what to ask now because it's just gone. It's gone. Do you have a basketball team that you follow kind of outside the WBBL, whether it be over in America or across Europe?
No, I wouldn't say I do. I just kind of keep up with like places that my friends play. I don't necessarily have like a favorite team or whatever, but I just catch whatever games I can.
And how would you finish this sentence? I love basketball because
it keeps me from getting fat.
Wait, we've got to ask, because obviously I follow you on Insta and you go out to eat, I swear it's like every other day. So I think one of your hobbies is finding restaurants and eating them.
Yeah, honestly, me and my girlfriend, literally every day we wake up and we're like, where are we gonna eat? Like our whole Instagram like DM is just sending each other restaurants and places because we're just like, yeah, we'll go there next. Like we just love food. We tell each other we need to stop, but like I guess it's like our love language. Food.
Like I hands down, you beat me. Like everyone says, no, you go out to eat all the time. No, Georgia goes out to eat all the time. But it looks amazing though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when we're one of them, like we're the type that loves good like looking food. So we go for like aesthetic food over the actual taste. So maybe we need to stop doing that. But yeah, it's great. It's great.
You need to set up an Instagram like Kennedy and Chantel have got over London with their food
we
things.
said that. Like we'll review places we go to, and then hopefully we'll get some free food because our bank account is so good right now.
You can go out for meals 2 times a day if one of them's free.
Right? Yeah.
True.
Exactly. True. Right, watch this space. It's coming. I'm about to get on the phone to after this.
Well, I think that's us for today. I mean, we've kind of got to know that you don't like Disney, so I mean that's a big downer, I'm afraid. No pineapple on pizza, but that you've had an incredible basketball career up to this point, I guess.
Oh, thanks.
So what can people expect from you, kind of, and Sheffield for the rest of the season? Do you think? What are the kind of ambitions for the club and yourself?
I think our aim is to get a trophy. So whichever one it is, we're going for some silverware. Practice have really switched up after the London game. I think it was a wake-up call for us. So I think you need to wait and see how we are from now on, you know.
You're killing me.
Our practices have been defense. Like you are this far away from your person, like so. Hopefully, you know, we come out with a bit of a bang this weekend and continue. Because we have London in a few weeks. So, what happened last week or the week before when we played them? Like that's out of our brains. It's time to start afresh. So yeah, hopefully we'll give them a better game.
Yeah, you've got Newcastle before then, so I mean that's the big one.
Like we said, we'll see.
Wow, well, Essex, better watch out.
I know it's gonna be a good game. I feel like they're definitely gonna give us a game. So good, I'm excited. Me too.
Well, Georgia, we really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
But good luck for the rest of the season. I mean, apart from the Newcastle and the Gloucester games, I guess, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you see me? I like held back. I was like, do I say that or do because I don't know if I mean it or I always say this though. I hope you do well.
Thank you. So sweet.
And we'll hopefully speak to you soon.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye.